Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with Case Solutions. In this video, we'll be doing two long division problems. Our first one is 136 divided by 8. To begin this problem, we should see how many times does 8 go into our first number, which is the number 1. As we can see, 8 is bigger than 1, so it cannot go into that number at all. So then we combine the next two numbers, which is the 1 and the 3 to give us 13. And we ask ourselves, how many times does 8 go into 13? Since 13 is a bigger number, it should be able to go into it at least one time. So 8 times 1 is 8, and 8 times 2 is 16. 16 is bigger than 13, so we'll just stick with the number 1. So we're going to write our 1 up top, and then we're going to say 8 times 1, which again is 8. And then we're going to draw our line to solve for here. And what we're going to solve is 13 minus 8. And that's going to give us 5. And then we're just going to carry down our 6 since we did not do anything with it. So let's kind of backtrack and explain how we got here. So we tried to see how many times could 8 go into our first number 1. It could not, so we went to the next number and combined those two to make it 13. And we said how many times can 8 go into 13? It can go in there one time evenly. So we did 8 times 1 to give us 8. And then we subtracted the 13 minus 8. So let me put the minus sign here. 13 minus 8 to give us 5. And we carried down our 6. Okay. Now we're going to do the exact same thing we did up top. So now we're going to ask ourselves, how many times can 8 go into 5 from the 56 at the bottom? Since 8 is bigger, it cannot go into that number. So we combine our two numbers, or the next two numbers, and that gives us 56. And we say, how many times can 8 go into 56? And if you guess 7, you're correct, because 8 times 7 is equal to 56. So we're going to write our 7 up top, because 8 can go into 56 7 times. And then we're going to multiply now. 8 times 7, 56. Again, we're going to subtract our two numbers. And this time, 56 minus 56 gives us 0. So that means we are done. So 136 divided by 8 is 17 with no remainder. Now let's do our second problem. Here we have 1,728 divided by 24. Again, we need to ask ourselves, how many times can 24 go into the number 1? Nope, can't do it. 1 is too small. What about 17? Nope, still too small. So now we need to combine the first three numbers, which gives us 172. And we say, how many times can 24 go into 172? So you're going to have to do a little bit of calculations here. The way I like to do it is I like to add up the numbers, because in order to multiply it, it's just adding up the numbers. So if you said 2 times 2, you're really just saying 2 plus 2. 2 times 3, that's 2 plus 2 plus 2. So I'm going to do this here since I don't really know what's 172 divided by 24 off the top of my head. So I'm going to do this right off to the side here. I'm going to say 24 plus 24 is just like saying 24 times 2, because I wrote it twice, and that gives me 48. And I'm going to keep going until I get as close as possible to 172, but not over it. Okay, so I can still add in another 24, so I'm going to keep going. Again, we're just adding it each time. So that's 48 plus 24 gives me 72. Okay, I can keep going here. Plus 24. That's going to give me 96. All right, so let's see how many we've gotten so far. So that was 2 here. That's saying multiplying by 2, multiplying by 3, multiplying by 4. So that means we need to keep going. So 24 can go into 172 more than 4 times, as we can see so far. And you can, of course, maybe guess a number and say 7 or 8 and see how many times you can get into it. And then if you need to go more or less, depending on that answer. But just writing it all the way out so everyone understands. So we need to keep going here. So 24 So 96 plus 24 is going to give me 120. Oops, erase that. 120. I can keep going. So 24 again. Okay, we're getting pretty close now. 24 again. 8, 6, 1. All right, let's see how many we've added up or multiplied so far. So we stopped up here at 4. So the next one is 5, 6, 7. So right now we've said 24 times 7 gives us 168. I think that's pretty close to the 172. Because if we added another 24, we would definitely be over 172. So that's going to be our answer. 24 can go into the number 172 7 times. So now we multiply those two numbers, 24 times 7, which we already have our answer, 168. And now we're going to subtract. 172 minus 168. We're not going to worry about the 8 on the end of the original equation because we didn't do anything with it. So the 172 minus 68, that's going to give us 4. And then we're going to carry down the 8 because we did not do anything with it. Now, we start over from the top. We say, how many times can 24 go into the number 4 from our 48? Since 24 is bigger than 4, we cannot do that, so we need to add in that second number, which is 48. So how many times can 24 go into 48? Well, we've already answered that question to our left when we were working this problem out. We said that 24 plus 24 is 48, and that's 2 24s. So that means that the number 24 can go into 48 2 times. So we're going to write our 2 here. And then again, just multiplying 24 times 2 gives us 48. So we'll rewrite it here. And we subtract. 48 minus 48 gives us 0. And that means we are done with our equation. So to answer the problem, 1,728 divided by 24 is 72. Hope that helps.